What's up, folks? Stu Myrick here, sports guys talking wrestling on the horn. Uh, it's great to see you. We were off last week for no other reason than if you heard the broadcast, I had COVID. Now, luckily, it was very mild thanks to the vaccinations that I've had 2 shots plus 2 boosters. So, didn't last very long. So, I am good to go, ready to get back to doing YouTube and Twitch. Hope you are having a good week. This week is going to be, we got some stuff, There's the Jeff Hardy situation. There's the fallout from Dominion, how that's going to affect Forbidden Door, which we're less than 2 weeks away from Forbidden Door. How nuts is that? We also look ahead to this weekend's Impact Wrestling Slammiversary. 20 years. Impact Wrestling. TNA, Impact. 20 years. They have been on the TV deathbed so many times, and they have survived. And now, like I said, I've said it before, they're putting on some good TV. They've got good matches. They got good folks. It's looking good. So, as always, got NXT 2.0 on the TV screen. Fallon Henry just beat Tiffany Stratton. Thanks to Wendy Chu with a confetti bomb. Some exchange with Braun Breaker, the NXT champion, and Cameron Grimes, who apparently is down after losing the North American title to Carmelo Hayes. But, yeah. So we'll talk a lot about that. We've got, AEW has their new All-Atlantic Championship, which includes Japan, which isn't in the Atlantic, but hey, why let geography stand in the way of a good tournament? And then there is Justin Simmons, the Smash, sporting his Sasha Banks gear.
I almost more NJPW stuff. I'm like, Forbidden Door isn't until like next weekend.
Yeah, it is. And we'll preview it next week. How you doing? It's good to see you.
Glad that you are feeling better now.
Thank you. I'm good. It's yeah. It lasted a few days, and now I'm fine. Still got a sniffle, true, but no fever, no nothing. Fever even lasted like 18 hours.
18
hours. Yes.
Did you sweat this out like in the tent?
No. This was gone before I went to camp. So, which it's gonna be fun, So went to camp. For those in case you have not heard, over the last 6+ years, I'm a Boy Scout volunteer, and I go to our Boy Scout summer camp in Bastrop, right outside of Austin. This year is my 28th year there.
It's a long time.
28 years. So went out there Sunday, did our usual Sunday stuff, spent the night, did our usual Monday stuff. Then I came home because I had work obligations today and tomorrow, and then I'll head back out to camp tomorrow afternoon, finish out the rest of the week. So
dang, so you're gonna go back out there?
I gotta go back.
So what are you doing about the heat?
It's hot. It is hot. Luckily, we have a nice pavilion in our area.
I mean, I've seen it.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, you can only chill there for so long.
Well, we got 2 ceiling fans and another fan running.
I don't hear anything about air conditioning here.
No air conditioning. You know,
I was like,
we
I
are
don't hear
roughing
anything
it.
about like misters or ice makers here.
No. There's an ice maker in the commissary. And I'll have that ice chest sitting over there with some
He points at the
sweet iced
small
tea.
thing that will only fit like maybe 2 jugs max.
Yeah, but it'll fit a gallon of sweet iced tea in ice. So
Already measured it out.
oh yeah, well yeah. So how you been?
Just grinding, picking
Yeah.
up like the shift work because it's summertime because there's like no sports.
Right.
Looking for fights, not me taking fights, just working like fights, like boxing. And
Boxing.
stuff.
Yes.
Thought I had a lead on one, and then it just kind of fell through. So
She's an Aggie.
I was like, because she played basketball for them.
What do you know about the Enreal Howard? Played basketball for Texas A&M, and then transferred to Mississippi State. Okay.
I mean, they're going hard on the NIL. They just announced that.
They just said new class. I saw the list. I didn't look. Oh, did it say Westlake?
Well, a Westlake High School.
Not Austin Westlake.
Not this.
Not the
Westlake.
Chaparrals. Okay. Oh man.
But the fact that she was already a pro player.
Yeah.
And now
WNBA. Yeah.
Yeah, and now she transitioned to pro wrestling, kind of like Big Cat Ernie Ladd.
Yep.
Very old school in that sense.
Yep. Wahoo McDaniel
Yeah.
played for the Chiefs.
Giant Gonzalez. Yeah. Former basketball player that transitioned.
Well, Satnam Singh, that's in AEW.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was a draft pick for the Mavs.
Yep. Oh, from there, I thought that was Finn Balor.
He had the look. If it wasn't for the tribal stuff on his chest, I would have said, "Hey,
Right?
what's Finn Balor doing back in NXT?"
Right. Okay. So I
He's
was the
leading
only
up
one.
the Judgment Day. So, no, it's what's
Is this
this?
a special?
Xylo Quinn or something like that. He's gonna take on Wes Lee.
Is this a special?
Known to us, no, it's just NXT.
Just
It's
regular NXT?
Regular NXT.
Okay. I saw that Wesley was part of the latest download for WWE 2K22.
Wow. And to think we knew him when
That's the whole point, right?
I introduced him to Whataburger. So yeah, we
Didn't
got.
Takashita finally hit up Whataburger? I think
Did he? He might have.
it was either that or he's in love with Cinnabon. I know that for sure.
Maybe that's it. We got a bit to talk about, so I guess we'll hit it and see how this goes. Here we go.
Hey, Wesley didn't get an entrance for this one, right?
No, he was in the ring.
Oh, okay.
So. All right, here we go.
Just to remind you once again, is Switchblade Jay White, the last rock and roller. I'm King Switch, baby. I am the first ever Grand Slam champion. It's still my era. And you're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
When they're not covering the sports world, they're talking about the world of professional wrestling.
It's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Now, with Justin Simmons, here's Stu Myrick.
It is Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick. Alongside Justin, the Smash Simmons.
We were only separated by a cold.
Yes, we were together, but virtually last week.
Yep.
Thanks to the COVID, which is now gone. So it's good to see you.
Good seeing you, man.
Sporting your Sasha Banks gear.
She'll come back some point. One
Maybe.
form or another.
We'll see. We'll see. Did you hear Naomi posted some sort of motivational video on Twitter?
I did see that. But I'm like, well, I mean,
Didn't give any clue as to like
what's going on?
no. So
But I understand their whole plight because we saw how the booking changed really quickly for that tag team
Right.
matchup.
well, and what's
Or
funny
tournament,
is
rather.
so when they announced, and we'll get to the other stuff, but when they announced their quote suspension and stripping them of the titles, they said there was going to be a tournament to crown new champions. We haven't heard about it since.
Well, we said it on the show before, though. We're like, who's going to
They
compete?
don't have enough women to do tag teams.
Eddie said it when he was here
Yeah.
that week. And sure enough, like as soon as we said that, they went and canceled it.
Yeah. So I get the feeling those those women's tag team belts are going to be retired quietly.
If not, they bring back Sasha and Naomi with like some actual guidance to their character work, and then just give them back the belts if they have like some sort of a TLC style tag team turmoil match.
Again, if they come back. Remember the last we heard, like one of the things we heard was that their contracts are also expiring soon. Oh, Wesley got a pin.
But he was in the ring first.
He was.
No entrance.
Well, it's NXT. Anyway, so that's, but yeah, their contracts are to expire soon. So who knows? They may not come back. We might see Mercedes Bernardo in AEW or an Impact or wherever,
More than likely, probably on your TV.
Probably,
screens,
yeah.
Acting.
She was a hit for the second season of Mandalorian.
Yep.
So yeah. All right, well, let's before we get to recapping Dominion, got to talk about Jeff Hardy. For those who don't know, over the weekend, actually it was on Monday morning too. He was arrested in Volusia County, Florida. 3 counts, including DUI, driving with a suspended license, and violating interlock restrictions. He did take a breath test. Blew a .294. That's almost 4 times the legal limit.
Oh, okay.
You got to be drinking to get that high. So, obviously, this throws a lot of plans into disarray. Tony Khan issued a statement. Basically, he suspended Jeff Hardy without pay. Jeff can come back only after he has completed substance abuse treatment and can show that he can stay sober. It's which it's one of those things where and substance abuse recovery it's one of those it's a different journey for everybody. It really is, but you got to be able. You have to want to recover. You have to. It's one of those things. I'll read you the statement that he posted this to his Twitter account at Tony Khan. Quote: "We were able to resume contact with Jeff Hardy this afternoon. AEW does not condone Jeff's alleged behavior. We've made it clear to Jeff that we'll assist him in getting treatment for substance abuse issues, which he has indicated that he's open to receiving. In the interim, he is suspended without pay, and he can only return to AEW upon successfully completing treatment and maintaining his sobriety. If you or a loved one needs help, please reach out to SAMHSA's National Helpline, 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357.
Well,
so this was his 3rd DUI arrest.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, it's
in a short span.
Yeah, a real short span. It's been within a few years.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just.
On the legal side, most states that would be a felony. That's a felony DUI.
Yeah, exactly.
I know in Texas it is.
It's like jail time.
No, it's prison time.
Mm.
Yeah, you're spending time in the state prison.
Wow.
But
see, do you think this comes from all these years of hard bumping?
Oh God, yeah. Oh, that's got to be part of it.
But he had issues in the Fed.
Well, he and Matt both had substance abuse issues.
Yeah.
Now Matt has maintained his sobriety.
But I also assume that has to come from just what they put their bodies through.
Oh God, yeah.
Because he can no wrestler ever feels 100%. But you've seen the way that Matt walks to the ring and Jeff kind of jogs.
Oh yeah, I've seen him live. Live. I mean, Matt, he doesn't turn. Matt doesn't turn his neck. He'll turn his body to.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's all for our entertainment. I mean,
right.
I'm
grateful
for it, but it's just you want them
Warner
to be able to enjoy.
Right. Warner Brothers Discovery did tell AEW to pull Jeff from all promotional materials, intros, all that good stuff. So he is no longer marketing stuff. Now, as I mentioned, this kind of throws plans into kind of disarray. For instance, again, we record this on Tuesday, so of course, but you'll hear it after AEW Dynamite on Wednesday if you're on Listen to the Horn. Dynamite was supposed to be Jurassic Express, Hardys, and Young Bucks in a ladder match for the tag titles. Mm-hmm. They have since changed that. It's going to be this ladder match, but it's just going to be Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks. So Hardys are not part of it. I just, obviously you want Jeff to get help and get on the road to recovery and maintain his sobriety. He's in his 40s. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, I guess it really just depends on how well off he is financially. Like, to determine motivation, just because it's like, if your job depends on your sobriety in this case, right? And that you're going to have to go through this program to get paid. And if you need the money, you're going to do it.
Well,
does he need it?
And Tony Khan said in a statement they will help him get the treatment. So
yeah.
Now, I know that WWE will also help, like, even those who are no longer with the company.
Yeah.
With treatment.
Because they have that wellness program.
Yeah. Through their wellness program. So, like I said, time will tell. I don't expect to see Jeff back anytime soon. I mean, he's got to do treatment. That's in addition to whatever his sentence is, which, again, this is a third DUI. So, if we see him back in a year, I'd be surprised. So, but do want to wish the best to Jeff Hardy and just hoping he gets the help he needs. I had a chance to chat with him when AEW was at Cedar Park, a couple months ago, and he seemed in a good place, so we'll see.
Yeah, he's pretty much like everybody's favorite wrestler.
Yeah, of course.
Especially from my generation, a lot of guys really like Jeff Hardy, so
yeah,
everybody would like to see him do well.
Let's talk a bit about Dominion. New Japan Pro Wrestling had Dominion over the weekend. The main event saw Switchblade Jay White defeat Kazuchika Okada. So, Jay White, now your IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. His first run with this title. Second run over.
I know he's won it before. But
well, technically it's his first World Heavyweight title.
Yeah, whatever they call it now.
What that means for Forbidden Door, which, by the way, we're less than 2 weeks away from Forbidden Door. We know Hangman Page had put out a challenge to Okada. Mm-hmm. We'll see if that challenge now shifts to the Switchblade. Hangman versus Switchblade for the IWGP World title.
We'll see. Question.
I don't know. I haven't heard. We haven't seen it. And again, by the time you hear this on the horn, Dynamite may have revealed those matches. We'll see. One match that is official. Hiroshi Tanahashi defeating Hiroki Goto. So it will be the ace New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, facing Jon Moxley for the interim AEW World Championship. This is a match Moxley has been asking for the last 3 years. It's finally going to happen.
I want to see it
in Chicago.
I want to see it. This is
oh yeah.
But I would love to see. I know it's not going to happen, but I would love to see Tanahashi win it.
That would be kind of fun. And then see Tanahashi versus CM Punk.
Or
if they could keep him around, but I think you're right. I think Mox comes out with the.
But I mean, considering the situation that they are in now, because I could understand when you had CM Punk, and he was healthy.
Yeah.
But ever since then, I'm like, hey, well, since you have to hot plate the title to somebody else now, you might as well have some fun with it.
It would be cool. That'd be a lot of fun to see Tanahashi.
And I think that's like a great legitimizer for like a worldwide audience
Yeah.
for the product, being
I
like,
agree.
hey, look, we have the ace carrying the title.
I think part of it will be obviously Tanahashi's availability to be in the U.S. because he's going to be part of the G1. So that's, so we'll see what kind of dates he has. But yeah, I would love to see Tanahashi hold that title. But I think we all agree it's probably going to be Jon Moxley, and then it'll end up being Mox versus Punk when Punk comes back. So a few other titles. Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb defeated Bullet Club's Chase Owens and Bad Luck Fale. They are now the new IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. This, I would think, will probably set up Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb versus FTR at Forbidden Door. Remember, they attacked FTR during Double or Nothing.
Well,
When FTR was defending the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles against Roppongi Vice.
Well, I think the real question is like who's going to be available for this pay-per-view, not just like injuries aside, but like politics aside.
Well, see, and that's the interesting thing. So three AEW wrestlers that won't be on this card, Andrade and the Lucha Brothers, because New Japan Pro Wrestling has their relationship with CMLL in Mexico, but Andrade and the Lucha Brothers are tied to AAA.
Yeah.
So there you go. You mentioned politics. There it is. So they can't show up at Forbidden Door because of the,
Which is a shame because that's some of their top talent.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the whole, like, that's a good chunk of their mid card
Exactly.
right there.
I agree. So a couple other notes. Juice Robinson was stripped of the IWGP United States Heavyweight title. Robinson was, he cited acute appendicitis.
Oh, man.
Said he wasn't going to make the trip, so New Japan said we were going to take the title. So, and it was going to be a triple threat. It ended up being a singles match between Will Ospreay and Sonata. Will Ospreay gets the win. He is now your new U.S. champion.
I mean, that's going to be cool to see at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
You would imagine that he'll be put into a match.
Well, and again,
Or
recording this on
politics here.
Tuesday. No. he's going to be on Dynamite
oh, okay.
this week.
Nice.
So,
But, shame for Juice, though, because, he was getting this push here. I'm
yeah, he
assuming
just
that-
joined Bullet Club. He's getting the title. He was going to make now he's out with the appendicitis. We'll see how. I mean, it's appendicitis. He's only going to be probably won't be out a few weeks.
But still, I mean, to have your momentum kind of disrupted, you just never know when you can get it back.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. So we'll see. Carl Anderson, one half of the Good Brothers, defeated Tamatanga to win the Never Openweight Championship. One other little bit of news. Zack Sabre Jr., during his post-match press conference, called out Bryan Danielson. Okay. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson at Forbidden Door. Yes, please.
See, I don't feel the same way.
You don't?
No, I understand, from like the technical aspect where this would be an amazing match to watch. But I'm like, I feel after the long layoff because of the concussion injuries and stuff, right? And knowing that we're like on borrowed time with Bryan Danielson, I kind of want to see him go against like the top names that they have in New Japan. So I would prefer to see him go against a Tanahashi, an Okada,
or Naito or something.
Yeah, like somebody in there. No offense to Zack Sabre Jr. We've had him right in the car. Great lad. And I love what he does. But, again, just because of where Danielson is now at this point in his career and how rare these opportunities come with these cross promotions of pay-per-views in today's wrestling landscape, I would prefer to see him go against, some of their top generational talent.
I could see that. I think Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson has a potential to be, one of those matches. It'll be a clinic, that type of thing. I can see what you're saying, though. I get that. I don't think anybody will be disappointed. Let's put it that way.
But now I'm expecting like greatness, and it's like, oh, is it going to live up to those expectations? Especially when I know we could have seen. Can you imagine going against Jay White? Something like that. It would be just, I think, amazing to see.
Well, and again, we'll have to find out. We suspect that Jay White will defend the IWGP World Heavyweight title at Forbidden Door. We'll see against who, whether it's Paige or it could be somebody else. We'll just have to wait and see. By the way, Forbidden Door, June 26th, pay-per-view. I think BR Live here in the U.S. NJPW World for those in Japan with Japanese commentary. So coming to us from Chicago. Did you see last week? So AEW, they come out of a commercial break. They're going to introduce a brand new championship.
I saw that.
Now, for how long did you think it was going to be the trios titles that we have been promised for so long in AEW?
I mean, I assumed that would have been like the next natural move. And
I think everybody did. But no, not the trios titles. It is the AEW All-Atlantic Championship.
Okay.
Now, it's a beautiful belt. Don't get me wrong.
It is pretty.
But it had, international flags on it. And one of the flags was Japan. Now, I didn't take geography in high school, but I know my way around the globe.
I was going to say, they didn't make you look at a globe in the Army.
And I've been to Japan. Correct me if I'm wrong. Japan is not in the Atlantic. It's in the Pacific.
Isn't the Pacific attached to the Atlantic?
No.
I don't know. Just try to justify this title.
No.
But
Bulgaria, because Miro is in the tournament, it's not even on an ocean. It's landlocked in Europe.
That is also true.
It's kind of like, okay. Well, anyway, so they're going to do this. They're doing this 4-match tournament. In fact, they had one of the matches last week. Pac, I guess, representing the United Kingdom, beating Buddy Matthews out of Australia. Yeah. Again, Australia is in the Pacific. Yeah. I know that because I've been to Australia. So Pac is advanced. You also got All Ego Ethan Page taking on Miro. Penta Oscuro taking on Malachi Black. And then you have another match that's going to be competed in New Japan. You have 2 semifinal matches with Tomohiro Ishii taking on Kanemaru. The winner of that match will face the winner of Honma versus Clark Connors. And then the winner of those, along with the other 3, will compete in a Fatal 4-Way at Forbidden Door.
But Stu, I don't even care. It's like, what's the point of this title?
Exactly. I'm there with you.
Like, what's the other title that Ricky Stark is carrying around? Or
the FTW?
Yeah. Like, what does that represent? I'm so confused.
That was just because they got Taz as part of the company.
Okay, yeah. But I'm still so confused.
I know.
I'm like, why add another thing to the confusion?
I don't know why we need another singles title.
It's like, can we fix the women's division booking first, and then we can talk about another title?
Right. So anyway, the All-Atlantic Champion will be crowned at Forbidden Door as well, and then we'll see what happens. I don't know. It still kind of irks me that we still don't have trios titles, but we got to come up with another singles title.
Like, I'm not invested.
I'm not either.
How can I be invested in another title when they haven't figured out what to do with the other titles that are supposed to mean even more?
I get you. So, yeah, crazy stuff. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, Impact Wrestling Slammiversary coming up. We'll talk about that and a few notes from WWE. That's coming up next on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. It's the family.
Like,
Tony D.
except that Two Dimes just got released.
Yeah. Which that was kind of odd.
Yeah. But
And
I
it was
mean,
a policy issue. So not budget cuts, not a policy issue. I don't know what that means.
that's a good one. I've never heard of policy issue.
Yeah.
Not from WWE yet. But am I the only one that ever feels that sometimes the AEW kind of had everything booked up to Hangman winning the title, and then
They kind of didn't know how to proceed.
yeah,
As crazy as it sounds, I felt a little like that myself.
okay, so I'm not the only one.
No, and it was.
It's like no disrespect. It's just that like
I mean, Hangman did fine as a champion. He had some good title defenses, but yeah, there was no real direction. And you gotta imagine that's why they decided go ahead and pull the trigger and put it on Punk.
which is the right move though. I still felt because bigger name,
Right.
more eyes on the product. I get it.
Exactly.
But he just unfortunately got hurt.
Yeah, he did get hurt, but hey,
And I think Cody Rhodes leaving also didn't help matters.
no, that didn't help either. I mean, now, and they say Cody could be out 9 months. Now I think that's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he'll be back for Royal Rumble.
I think that's what everybody's expecting at this point. And
He'll come back, win the Rumble, and go to.
But I'm also kind of like, even if he doesn't make it back for Royal Rumble, I still see him being a big part of the WrestleMania picture if he's available. And even being, possibly, what is it, Roadblock, or what do they call the one before WrestleMania
Lord.
now?
Okay. There's Rumble, Elimination Chamber. Roadblock is with NXT now.
Oh, okay. Man, that was a great name, though. Like, for the one right before WrestleMania, I felt very appropriate.
But yeah, Elimination Chamber is before Mania.
Because what? It's usually held in January? Before the Rumble?
After Rumble.
After Rumble.
I remember because when I talked to Seth Rollins and The Miz at Super Bowl Radio Row, we talked about Elimination Chamber because it was coming up. So, a meeting of the families.
I have to admit, at least they try with their storylines in NXT.
Yeah,
So-
I mean they do. I mean it's developmental, so we get there. It's they're probably spitballing a little bit, so why not?
But I mean, this is
Now,
compared to
correct me. Okay, I see two guys.
yeah. Who's this other dude?
Yeah, who's the other dude?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess they felt that this is like fake Razor, fake Diesel, just some random.
That's and the funny thing is, I think because they figure they can do that. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, all right, let's do segment 2. Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, Stu Myrick, Justin Smash Simmons. Chris Sabin's going to factor into...
When did you get that?
Oh, God. I got that years ago.
Did you? Wow.
When the Guns were in Ring of Honor.
I guess I must have mentioned it at least once. I mean,
Yeah.
back when you probably first played it, but I guess it's been that long since
Yeah.
I've heard it. But yeah, because I was like, oh man, they were one of my favorite tag teams back in the TNA days, Motor City Machine Guns. Yeah.
Impact Wrestling presenting Slammiversary. You know how many times TNA and Impact Wrestling have been on the TV deathbed?
Yeah, about 3 times.
And they're about to celebrate 20 years.
There's no way. There's no way that this should be
years.
happening. This is so crazy. And they
20
survived
years.
COVID.
They survived the pandemic. They've survived management changes. They've survived
TV
network
changes.
changes. Man.
And this was just like a gleam in Jeff Jarrett's eye.
Yeah. By the way, did you see Jeff Jarrett on Broken Skull?
Yeah, that one was good.
That was good. I liked it. A lot of those shots from the old USWA days when Jerry bought, Dallas out from the Von Erichs.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Impact Wrestling Slammiversary this Sunday, coming to us from Nashville, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You get it on pay-per-view and Fight TV. Main event, Josh Alexander defending the Impact World Championship against Eric Young from Violent by Design. Eric, EY.
Yeah, I was going to say that Eric
Speaking
Young,
of,
right?
speaking of 20 years.
Wow, man, that's a company staple right there.
And
for
boy, he's
Impact.
gone through some changes.
Yeah, a lot of different gimmicks.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
here he is. See, that's
And he's been a former world champion.
yeah. But I was gonna say this is exactly what you need in any promotion. Some guy that can go out there and perform at the highest level or fill out the mid card when you need him to when he's not contending for the title.
Yeah.
And be
And
able to be a
EY's
team
that
player.
way.
Yeah.
EY's that way. So that'll be a fun match. Josh, I think this will be Josh's first title defense since he won the title from Moose.
Mm-hmm.
So they will, how they used to have the King of the Mountain matches that Jeff Jarrett's
That's
wheelhouse.
the signature.
Well, they're going to have a Queen of the Mountain match.
But they got the division to do it though, so I'm down
Right.
for it.
Well, yeah, and that's through all their ups and downs, TNA Impact Wrestling have consistently had one of the best women's divisions in all of pro wrestling.
Oh yeah, easily. I will not argue with that.
There,
Yeah.
I mean, you look back.
Gail Kim,
Kim, the beautiful people.
ODB,
Exactly.
Awesome Kong.
I mean, and it's, I don't know what it is, but they have always been able to book the women.
They
pretty
always
well.
Found, they always found good, talented women
did.
wrestlers.
They did.
That had a good look too.
Yeah.
So while the beautiful people, while they were WWE looking,
Yes.
they could work better than the WWE women's product at the time.
Yeah.
Barring Lita or Trish Stratus or something
Right.
like that.
But no, it was so anyway, this Queen of the Mountain match, Tasha Steelz defending the Impact Knockouts World Championship against Deonna Purrazzo, Chelsea Green, Jordan Grace, and Mia Yim.
I mean, what a lineup right there. That's a great lineup. For a women's
That's a
title.
big one. By the way, if you want to hear, I talked to Chelsea Green last week. We were talking about the NWA pay-per-view, but I also asked her about this match. So check that out. You can get it on wherever you get your podcasts. Hear the interview with me and Chelsea while she was house hunting in Orlando.
I thought she was busy taking care of what's his name?
Matt?
Yeah.
Well, that too, but she was house hunting,
At the same time.
Yeah. There will be an Ultimate X match for the X Division title. Ace Austin. Now he's in Bullet Club.
Hey, he's always been a good performer though.
I know, but now he's part of Bullet Club.
I mean, even the NWO had some,
NWO got bloated quick.
Well, it took a few years.
Man, I hope they're not going to do the same thing with Bullet Club.
I think we reached that saturation point long ago.
Yeah. Anyway, Ace Austin defended the title against Alex Zane, Kenny King, Jack Evans, recently of AEW, Mike Bailey, and Trey Miguel.
That's a Speedball, right?
Speedball Mike Bailey. Yep.
I like him,
Yeah.
but he's probably not winning that match. I really do see Ace Austin.
I
being
think
able to
Ace
retain.
is. Yeah, I think Ace is keeping that title.
But that women's match, man, I think Purrazzo, but it's tough to say.
It is tough to say. For the Impact World Tag Team Championships, Mark and Jay Briscoe. By the way, congratulations! They got a new baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a Jay Briscoe tweeted out a picture of Mark holding a little baby.
Oh okay.
So that was
Nice.
cute. Anyway, the Briscoes defending against the Good Brothers. That could be a fun match. It's not. I don't think it'll be. It's not going to be one of those technical masterpieces or maybe the banger that Briscoe's FTR was. But I think that's going to be a fun match.
Oh, I just think that they're going to beat the hell out of each
Yeah.
other here.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, Honor No More, Eddie Edwards, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Vincent, and PCO will face the TNA/Impact Originals. Frankie Kazarian, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns, and then two other members TBD.
These are their jokers.
Yeah. So Scott D'Amore ordered Frankie and the Guns to go find two guys that have competed in Impact or TNA before.
Wow.
To round out the team.
Man, I wonder who they're going to get.
I don't know.
Rhino? Rhino's got to be available.
Well,
somewhere, right?
saw the preview for this week's Impact Wrestling on Access TV is bringing back Wes Briscoe and Garrett, Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff.
No.
Who were, they were part of Aces and Eights.
No, yes, I know, but still, Garrett Bischoff?
Yeah. So
Garrett
I don't know
Bischoff.
if Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe.
Wait. So look, on the pantheon of nepotism in the pro wrestling business, when it comes to their kid being able to compete,
Right.
where does Garrett Bischoff rank on your Eric Watts level of wrestling competence?
He was definitely better than Eric Watts.
Okay, you think he's better than Eric Watts?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I mean, I don't think he was going to be a big superstar, but he was a decent hand. I actually met Wes Briscoe when I went to Cauliflower Alley Club back in 2018.
I'm okay with that, but
I also got to meet Jerry Briscoe too. So
that's awesome.
yeah,
but Garrett Bischoff?
they were both in the TGI Fridays there in the hotel dining. I got to chat with them for a moment. Anyway, that's Honor No More taking on the TNA and Impact Originals. Monsters Ball match. Moose versus Sami Callihan. I got a feeling that's going to be a fun one.
I'm glad to see Sami Callihan in a good spot going against.
Well, I'm glad to see him back, because he broke his leg, but he's back. It's going to be interesting to see him facing off with Moose in a Monsters Ball match.
Who do you think is going to be more interesting for Moose or for Sammy because of the competitor, because of the size of Moose, or you think it's going to be more interesting for Moose because of the type of match?
Yeah. I mean, Moose is obviously bigger.
Yeah.
But it's the type of match.
Because I've never seen him in a match like this before.
I can't recall it either.
This is like a Sami Callihan special.
And then for the Impact Knockout World Tag Team Championships, the Influence, Tennille Dashwood, Madison Rayne, facing Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary. So Taya and Rosemary getting back together. They will go after the Knockouts Tag Team titles. That's Slammiversary this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Get it on pay-per-view and on Fight TV. Slammiversary is always a really good show. Okay, and so I have no doubt this one will be just as good. So make sure you get it.
They always deliver.
They do.
At Slammiversary. And again, like you mentioned, for what this company's been through for 2 decades, to have this to go down, this is amazing. How many
times they've been declared dead?
We've wrote them off on this very show.
Yes.
Twice.
Oh, more than twice.
just in the 6 years of the show alone. That's what I'm saying. It's we've written them off already, at least twice.
So, a couple of notes from WWE. First of all, Cody Rhodes, successful surgery on his torn pec. They announced his recovery time of 9 months. Now, I think that's worst case scenario. Knowing Cody as we do, it would not shock me to see him come back in time for the Royal Rumble. Which that would be, this is June, so July, August, September, October, November, December. So that's 7 months.
Yeah.
We'd put it Royal Rumble. I could actually see him before. Well, I would say he'll be recovered and he'll be ready for the Rumble. So
one would hope.
Yeah.
But did you think that he would be a Royal Rumble winner before this injury?
Well, before the injury, I thought he was going to win Money in the Bank.
Okay.
I penciled in him to win Money in the Bank and then cash in sometime. And it might have even been one of those, he's going to tell him, hey, I'm going to cash in and we're going to have a match at this, maybe it's SummerSlam or something. But
he would have to as the babyface in this situation.
Right.
He would have to tell you beforehand,
And I think we talked about it last week. When he comes back, he's already a big, one of the top baby faces. He comes back from this after that performance in Hell in a
It's
Cell.
gonna be a huge pop.
Oh yeah, that'll be Triple H in 02 coming off the torn quad,
Cena back
or
to the Rumble.
Cena at Madison Square Garden. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens, but wishing Cody all the best for a full and quick recovery. See him get back.
Oh, shoot,
Which, by the way, I saw a promotion, wasn't an ad, but it was like just a post on social media. They're getting ready to start their next camp at the Nightmare Factory.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, I was gonna say, talking about social media posts and injuries, you saw Big E take off the collar.
Big E threw away the collar.
So I'm happy he should be coming back soon.
I hope so. We miss Big E.
I mean, that's a scary injury too, because you just didn't know if he's going to be 100%,
right,
or if he was going to need the neck fusion surgery, which so many wrestlers have had to unfortunately go through.
Yeah. So, yeah, Big E. Hopefully, he is well on his way back to the ring to rejoin the New Day and all that good stuff. This Friday night on SmackDown, so Roman Reigns will defend the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Riddle on SmackDown. This is his first defense since winning both titles at WrestleMania. The stipulation is if Riddle loses, he cannot challenge for the title as long as Roman still holds it, which...
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm not sure we want to see it.
No, but I understand.
And we know Roman's going to win.
Yeah.
So,
but you had to give it some sort of stipulation to make it juicy because you're low on baby faces. Understandable.
Right. Especially on SmackDown. Is it just me? There was a time when SmackDown really felt like the A show.
Oh, you mean?
And here in the last, I don't know, couple months, it feels like that tide may have turned and Raw has become the A show again. Or maybe not the A show, but definitely the more interesting show.
It definitely is more interesting right now, but that's because you have the SmackDown stars appearing on Raw essentially, because they've kind of, I guess they have a brand split, but they're not utilizing a brand split.
It's a very loose brand split.
But I understand where both Fox and USA would want their top stars available for their programming.
Right, and I get that. It feels like, again, Raw has kind of reestablished itself. Now, Grant, the last couple weeks, it feels like they've been spinning their wheels, but that's just because...
I really... But, Stu, a lot of that has to be attributed to Cody Rhodes.
Right. Well, with Cody out, that definitely...
No, but with him coming in. If he appeared on SmackDown and that was his debut, I would have been watching SmackDown to see what's happened. But he debuted on Raw, so obviously...
I get that.
I cared on what happened on Raw.
I get that.
And that's where he was appearing.
But like I said, the last couple weeks, it felt like Raw is doing a lot of rematches.
Oh, they have no choice. They're in that cycle.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to change things up, and that's what I'll give them credit for.
They had Rhea Ripley do this message from the back with Finn and Damian Priest. She's going to, because she's going to challenge Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title at Money in the Bank.
But that's good, though.
That's good.
I like seeing a new challenger.
I'm not sure I want to see Bianca drop the title just yet.
I don't think she will.
And I don't think she will either. I think she'll find a way to get past it.
But, I'd rather have them do at least some changes as opposed to giving us the same thing for 3-4 times. But granted, sometimes getting it the third time is the best one, like we saw with Cody versus Seth. And who's going to take on Seth now? What's his next story? Because he's
he's in the Money in the Bank. He qualified for Money in the Bank. He beat AJ Styles.
But it feels like he always wins it.
Well, no, he's not going to win it. But he's in Money in the Bank. They also had Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan qualify via winning a tag team match against Doudrop and Nikki ASH.
I can see them as a real tag team.
Yeah, sure. If they decide to do the tag title tournament.
Yeah.
Which, we were talking before. I think tag titles were going to be quietly retired.
It's possible. We'll see, though. But I just don't think they will, though. It's an extra merchandise sale for them. It's equality. You can't just
They
like
can still sell the
away.
merchandise. They just won't have champions.
You're like, they still sell Diva belts. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
true. They do.
They still sell the WCW World belt.
I know. And they were
So-
50% off last Raw or something like
They
that,
were,
too.
yeah,
And I was
something
like,
like
oh,
that.
my God. I know people were buying them up.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to take a quick time out. Come back. We'll let you know what's happening in independent wrestling around the area. You're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, and you're listening to The Horn, where Austin talks wrestling.
Man, I really wanted to save this question for air, but I guess I can ask you again. How do you feel about the John Cena return
Yeah, that's right. John Cena coming back June 27th
in Laredo?
in Laredo.
It's just like, how come
That's-
Laredo gets this? I
That's
guess
an odd selection.
but is it just because like Raw, they don't care? That's what makes it live weekly. It's like wherever they are, they're gonna celebrate it, and they're not gonna. And like with pro wrestling, where they, is it fudge the numbers, fidget? What's the term?
You mean as far as attendance?
Anything,
Yeah.
high attendance, dates, anniversaries.
Oh, yeah.
In an industry,
They're always inflated,
Yeah, in an industry where they always mess with the numbers for these type of things, like they could have easily carried this over to a much larger city
Yeah,
and been
to
like,
a
"Oh,
bigger
this
market.
is
Yeah.
his true 20th anniversary," and I'm like,
It
oh.
is odd that we are going to have it in Laredo. I don't know if that's like
No
his
disrespect to Laredo.
filming schedule or whatever.
I guess that's one thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, because he is trying to be an actor. So, but yeah, we will see him on June 27th
Now,
on Raw.
the question is, are you going to go to Laredo to be there for John Cena's anniversary?
No,
No,
no.
I really am thinking.
I
about
will.
that.
I will watch it from the comfort of my couch here at the World Headquarters.
How many times have you seen John Cena perform live? Because now I'm trying to think if I've ever seen him. I don't know if I've ever seen him perform live.
I don't know. Maybe
Because I'm like, he's not on that card, right?
he was. He came out. He came out with the Rock came out,
Yeah.
announced the attendance. Here comes the Wyatt family to threaten the Rock. Here comes John Cena. Because remember, John Cena was coming off injury.
Yeah, but he didn't have a match.
No, it was just one of those
Okay,
impromptu.
so I saw him perform.
Cena and Rock beat up the Wyatt family.
Okay, dang. But I mean, I've never seen him like wrestle. Was he at WrestleMania 25?
I remember.
I don't think he was. And I was like, and I've seen a
And I
Royal
haven't-
Rumble too, and I don't
And
think he was.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't been to too many. I was at the Royal Rumble. I guess the following year. That was when he won title number 16. I was there with
Which
Brian
Rumble
Fritz.
did you go to?
That was the one in San Antonio at
It's always in San Antonio though.
that was at the Alamo Dome,
I went to the one. Was that like in 2007 or something?
2017.
Okay, no, I went to the one in San Antonio
Yeah,
prior to this last one.
it was Brian Fritz, Jay. What's his name? He writes for the Orlando Sentinel. Anyway, Brian and I and Jay, we were in San Antonio, so we hit what's the daggum? Evolve.
Okay.
We hit Evolve, then we went to NXT TakeOver, and then we went to the Royal Rumble. And then Brian and I went to Houston for Super Bowl Radio Row. So,
Okay, so I'll take this back. I have seen John Cena perform live. He was part of the co-main event of WrestleMania 25. I forgot. It was a triple threat.
I've seen him probably a few times. It's probably been less than half a dozen.
but
Because I haven't been to too many WWE live shows because
But
they're no fun live.
I don't feel like he was big
My
match
opinion.
John at that time yet.
Yeah.
And let's see. Oh, I went to the Royal Rumble. Oh, so yours was at the Alamo Dome?
Yes.
Okay, so this one was at AT&T Center. So
Right.
that was 2007.
Right.
Who won the Rumble that year? Sorry, I'm just trying.
If I had my little thing, there's Fabian Eichner or Giovanni Vinci.
Oh yeah,
Vini.
Is he appearing
No.
today?
Giovanni Vinci, formerly known as Fabian Eichner
That's right.
of Imperium.
So was he
Because
supposed
he's not there. He's not, there is no more Imperium. Ludwig and Gunther are at SmackDown.
Intercontinental
The
champion.
Intercontinental Champion, yes.
Who looks great, by the way.
It looks great. We'll see if he can make the title mean something again.
You would think so. I mean, this is at least a decent push for him.
You hope.
Wow. So the 2007, that's the year that The Undertaker won it.
Ah, okay.
And I think he was coming back from injury that year.
Probably.
But Cena defeated Umaga in a last man standing match to retain
Okay.
the title. Man, that brings
The
back
late
some,
great Umaga.
Yeah. Hey, how do you feel? We didn't talk about it on air, but Elias coming back for this tag team match.
He's going to do a concert next week.
Oh, I thought they were coming. I thought they were going.
Well, maybe I don't know, but I know he's supposed to do a concert next week on Raw.
But I'm just like, okay, so Elias is going to show up. How?
I don't know what.
Like,
they're gonna do.
it really is the same person, right? Ezekiel and Elias are the same person.
I mean, no, it's not the same person. Ezekiel is Elias's younger brother. No, I don't know how they're going to do it.
Like, are they just playing off of the fact that he said that he was Ezekiel? Or, I mean, he said he was Elias?
I don't know if it's a tag match or if it's just Elias is going to do a concert, which means it'll be a pre-tape that they show on the screen after the match. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see.
I thought it was a tag team matchup.
That's somewhat interesting. Somewhat interesting reason to tune into Raw next week.
Oh, that's what people have been saying, that they were going to get Damian Sandow to
That's
to
been a
beat
rumor.
him. And
So
was
he
like,
had he said it's his final match
Yes.
at NWA Always Ready.
Mhm.
Got beat by Trevor Murdoch. By the way, congratulations, Trevor Murdoch. Oh, we'll say it during the show. 2-time world champion. Yeah. But yeah, so all right, let's do this last one. Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the horn, Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons. By the way, we were just talking off air. Congratulations, Trevor Murdoch, for the second time, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Won it in a fatal four-way. Matt Cardona had he was asked to give up the title because he's recovering from
torn bicep.
Yes, torn bicep surgery. Handed the title to Billy Corgan. They had a fatal four-way, and Trevor Murdoch comes out with the championship. So he is your 2-time world champion. So congratulations to Trevor Murdoch. We got a couple of independent events to tell you about. We will start in Sherman. Texoma Pro Wrestling presenting Aloha Summer Friday night at Sherman Elks Lodge. Bell time 8 p.m. Tim Storm, John Bedlam, Charlie Haas, and more. That's Texoma Pro Wrestling this Friday night in Sherman. And then Metroplex Wrestling. Yes, they are reborn. And they are going to bring you Catching Fire this Saturday at the MPX Arena in Bedford. Bell time 8 p.m. Central. Sky De La Cremosa, Exodus Prime, Nate Collins, and more. That is Metroplex Wrestling this Saturday night in Bedford. And that's a look at independent wrestling around the area, wherever you may be. Go out and support independent wrestling. By the way, Inspire After Dark, next event, July 7 at Pinball's Lake Creek, TV taping.
Nice.
Come check it out. I think we are going to have a Lawless Darkness championship match.
Well, Stu, the most important thing is that you're going to be out there signing autographs, right? What's your meet and greet? What's your fee?
If someone comes and asks me for an autograph, I will first ask if they need to be evaluated by a doctor. I will happily give it to them. It won't be worth much, but hey, I have been asked for an autograph once. It was actually, I was ring announcing at Texoma.
See, there you go.
And a young kid and his dad came up and asked me for an autograph.
And you fulfilled that wish, right?
Of course.
Okay.
I was flattered.
You could have been a heel. Who knows?
No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so come check it out. T. Ray Watford, our Pure Prestige champion, and Rachel Rose, the Inspire AD champion.
But that's what I've always liked about Inspire, though. They always just kind of just throw everything at the wall and think outside the box and things, and they kind of just mess with like your conventional thinking of what pro wrestling is and what it can be.
We've awarded 1/2 of the Twin Dragon Connection Championships. Went to Warren J from Fly Deaf. I think we may be giving out the other half. He got he got the red belt, and we're going to give out the blue belt later because they can be defended separately.
Oh yeah,
as well as a tag team title. So, okay, all right, we're watching NXT, and 2 times it was reported over the weekend that he was released, but they just promoted that it's going to be Stacks and 2 times taking on Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, was this taped?
No, this is live.
Did they break?
Allegedly. So, heading back to New Japan, they have revealed the roster, the field, for this summer's G1 Climax. And oh, by the way, it is the biggest Climax field. 28 wrestlers total. They will compete in 4 blocks of 7 wrestlers each. The semifinals and the finals are going to be August 17th and 18th, days before my birthday, at Budokan Hall. The field right now has some of the folks you'd expect: Okada, Tanahashi, Naito, Goto, Tamatanga, Shingo Takagi, the KOPW 2022 Provisional Champion, Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, Yujiro Takahashi, Evil. From New Japan Strong, Filthy Tom Lawler, and Jonah. You also got Juice Robinson, Yoshihashi, Toriano, Tomohiro Ishii, Jeff Cobb, Great Okan, Will Ospreay, Aaron Henare, Sonata, Jay White, the current World Heavyweight Champion, Kenta, El Phantasmo, Tai Chi, Zack Sabre Jr., David Finlay, and AEW's own Murder Hawk Monster Lance Archer.
Always good to see him work in Japan.
Yeah. So they have not the block assignments and matches will be announced later.
And remind me, what does the winner of the G1 Climax get?
Winner of the G1 Climax gets a title shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom.
So that's like the main reason for wanting to win this tournament, besides the big trophy.
Besides the gigantic trophy, you get the title shot at Wrestle Kingdom.
Night 2 or night 1.
We'll see. They always have. It's always, they always have something in there, like, because you'll have to defend the right to challenge
at some
point. It could be in November.
It's always that technicality.
Yes, stinking technicalities. I swear. So anyway, so that's G1 Climax. Should be a great tournament, and we'll keep you posted on when and what happens.
Stu, now that I think about it, that's the match that everybody wanted to see. CM Punk versus Kenta, the battle of the GTSs.
That would be fun.
That will never happen.
No. That'll do it for this week's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You can follow Justin Smash Simmons on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at The Smash Simmons. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stu Myrick. That's STEWMYRICK. You can follow the show on Twitter and Twitch at SGTWATX. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. We live stream on YouTube and Twitch most Tuesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central. You can also catch us Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central on the flagship station for the Texas Longhorns, the College World Series bound Texas Longhorns. It is The Horn, 104.9, 101.9 FM and AM 1260. Or you can catch us anytime on demand by either going to hornfm.com and click on the On Air tab, or by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast platform. Make sure you rate and review us while you're there. For Justin, I'm Stu. Thank you so much for giving us a part of your time tonight. We will see you at the matches.
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
And there we go.
Well, it showed from the research that I did, it's like, no, he's been released. There's no mistakes there. So I'm wondering,
Could be somebody else playing his part. Who knows?
Really? You think so?
No, I don't. I don't know what they're doing.
I mean, like, I watch a lot of old school wrestling, so I'm like, you mean to tell me there's 2 Undertakers?
God bless Brian Adams.
Oh, man. Like, because what's his name was around at that time, but I get it. Like, you couldn't have the other Undertaker be bigger and stronger looking and wider, because they could have used, what's Kane's real name? Sorry.
Glenn Jacobs?
Yeah, they could have used him at that time because he was already being used in the system already.
Yeah, he was in OVW at the time,
Yeah,
which was
their feeder.
Yeah, that was their developmental.
And plus, he was already walking around as Isaac Yankem and Fake Diesel, so it was like
I think he was in OVW as the Unabomber.
Yeah, I thought that was Smoky Mountain though.
I mean Smoky Mountain, yeah, Smoky Mountain, yeah.
So in those cases, I was just like, I get it though. So like, Brian Adams, somewhat as tall, not as muscular. So it's like, yeah, perfect candidate. You don't want to outshine the guy that you're trying to build up. Okay, is that really 2 dimes? I really don't know what they look like.
I
hate
don't
to say
either.
that, but I really don't.
I don't either.
There's too much wrestling, and no offense, a lot of the guys look almost the same.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's only so many different looks you can variate from.
But still, I don't know.
Because it's all like, again, everybody in this match is wearing black pants.
Yes.
Although I do like
Carmelo and Trick are shirtless while Stacks and 2 Dimes
if that's
are
his
wearing
real
the white
name.
beaters.
Is that if that is 2 Dimes his real name? Who knows? Yeah, they look like, what's it called? What was that tag team? From the other
FBI.
side of the tracks.
FBI.
Oh no, I was thinking
Full-blooded Italians.
I was thinking of
Little Guido and.
I was thinking of Deuce and Domino.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah.
I guess they're not wearing full shirts, but since that wife beater.
By the way, Little Guido is going to be in MLW's Battle Riot.
I just remember him taking that. Really
He's been around a day or two.
Oh man, he's like an ECW original.
He is.
Oh, you called him Little Guido, which is
Guido.
which is his ECW name.
Yes.
But what do they call him in the back in WWE?
Oh Lord.
They could have called him Little Guido, so they call him something else.
They did call him something else. I forget what it was though.
It was like a one.
It was still
name.
Italian.
Yeah.
But it was something.
But it was just like one name, right?
Yeah, it was something convoluted. So.
Because I'm like, Little Guido, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. But I was like, that's not what they called him then, because I mean, obviously Guido is kind of like a slur. So you can't
Right.
You can't just say it like that. At least on national television. It's kind of like when they renamed Little Bastard.
Little Bastard.
Yeah,
Who's that?
the leprechaun. Hornswoggle.
Hornswoggle.
That wasn't his original name. He was just
Was
he was just Little Bastard.
I don't remember.
Wasn't
I
he?
don't remember. He was Vince McMahon's son.
Yeah, I thought he.
Remember that fiasco?
Well, I thought he was just called Lil Bastard, and obviously when they got to like when they went PG,
that wasn't PG enough.
Yeah, that was not going to fly.
Okay.
Like apparently that word just not PG enough. So like
he does pretty good living off of appearances and stuff.
That's
doesn't he?
good though.
Dylan Postal.
I mean, he had to put through. I mean, he went through a lot of tables though.
He did.
So I can imagine how his
Spent
body
a lot of
must feel.
time under the ring.
Yeah, that too. He really earned his paycheck.
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
I think if you work for the WWE just because of what it does to you, like mentally and the grind of having to travel, I mean, like you earn your paycheck.
That's why there has been those calls every now and again for like either an off season or switching folks in and out to give folks a chance to kind of take a break and recover and that type of thing.
You think we're seeing that with Roman Reigns?
Roman just wants to be an actor. He wants to do he's doing a little bit of the Brock Lesnar route, but I think he wants to do some acting. Allegedly, MJF wants to do some acting.
As he should.
So
I think he's
apparently
got
he was
natural
taking
chops.
some meetings in LA.
Good for him.
So
I mean, if he's not going to get what he wants, and no offense, I understand where he's coming from. He's done great work for the company, and he deserves to be paid more.
No, I get that.
But like, if he can't get what he wants out of the wrestling business,
I do wonder if and or when he will return to the ring.
He gives me hope though that like, hey, there will still be, for all the flips and false finishes and now ever insanely acrobatics that have been implemented into the modern way of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
A guy like MJF gives me hope that strong character work will win over all of that.
I agree.
Every day.
By the way, is Carmelo Hayes now a babyface?
I think so. I mean, people like him.
I guess so. This is one of those where it was like, heel versus heel, but maybe one of them's.
Oh, no, he just
not
ripped
as
that
much of a
title
heel.
away.
I
Maybe
know,
he's
it's
like
just
tweener.
Weird. Just weird.
I mean, do you ever think he's going to get called up, though, because of his size?
Who? Carmelo Hayes?
Because, I mean, he's a holdover. Before the transition, And, like, he was one of those guys.
Was he black and gold?
Yeah. He was already there before the transition. So it's like, do you think that he'll get called up to the main roster?
I don't know.
And I'm like, oh, well, his size, I can see where he wouldn't. But then again, they must like him because, instead of giving that title to somebody else.
Yeah, this is his second run with that title.
Unless they just deem it the workhorse title and they're like, okay, he's the guy that can have the best matches with the best people that aren't in the main event.
Yeah, it's becoming what the Intercontinental title used to be.
Well, I mean, that's true. But, like,
well, that's where we got the main event: Toxic Attraction against Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, and Indy Hartwell.
I mean, those are some strong competitors, though.
In our weekly display of TNA, and I don't mean the original Impact Wrestling.
No, but I like seeing Roxy there. I mean, somebody that truly had worked.
She's she's earned it.
But
she
like
really
to be a true what's it called though? When they were calling her that, what was her moniker?
The Prodigy.
Yeah, like they weren't joking.
No.
Yeah, it's like legit. It's like, oh wow.
You're right. So.
And it's always cool to see them live their dreams.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna sign off here. We will be back next week to preview Forbidden Door and anything else that needs to be talked about. But for now, for Justin, I'm Stu.